All right, so we implemented the capability of being able to list all the websites that were created by a user, right? So there we go. There's what we have so far. Here's Bob has just one website, and now Bob wants to create a new website, so they navigate to plus here, right? So what we need to be able to do here is take the values of of the new website. Right now, it doesn't do anything, right? It's supposed to be handled by a controller. Let's do that now. I don't remember if we created a controller for this. Let's check to see. Okay, looks like we did. We have website new controller. What's it doing right now? It's saying okay, so it's only populating the left-hand side, right? Really? Is that? Oh yeah, it's populating the left-hand side, which doesn't seem to be working. Why is that? Oh, right, because probably it's using the old synchronous mechanism, right? This is actually what? Let's refactor it really quick. It's that, right? We have then function websites, right? And this is websites right there, right? Let's see. That still didn't work. Wait a minute. Model user ID, find websites for user. That should work. Then function websites. Maybe that's it. There it is. Okay. So this is just basically using the same exact mechanism to populate the left-hand side. Whenever we never got to work on the middle part of adding new website, creating a new website. So let's do that next. Let's see. So this create button on the new client right here has, let's see. The create is not really doing anything. It's just navigating back to the list, which doesn't make sense. It should instead notify the controller that we want to create website, right? Create website, and we want to pass the data for the website. Here we have the name of the website. We don't have a model for this, so this would be ng model equal model dot this would be maybe website dot name. Okay, and then this would be website dot description. And then when we create the website, we're going to pass the website object to create it. Yes? So on the controller, we're going to need an event handler for create website. So let's declare that at the top. So this will be model.createWebsite, create website. And we're going to implement it down here. Function create website, and here's the website that comes back from the client. Yes? And for this, we're going to implement it in the client service with a function called the same name. A website service, create website, and we're going to pass the website object. Yes? Okay? So the create website, we never implemented on the service. Let's do that. Let's implement it on the service. We're going to call it the same name. Let's call it this dot create website, website. Right? Implementing a function of the same name that takes as argument the website. Okay? The URL is going to be what? The same URL we've been using. Right? We're going to be posting onto this URL. Right? Meaning we are going to be, we're referring to the list of all websites, correct? What are we going to do? We're going to add something to that list of websites. We're going to post into there, right? So we're going to do an HTTP. We're going to do return $HTTP dot post the URL with the new website. We're going to pass that website over to the server, correct? If we try this now and we try to post, notice we get an error saying that we try to, let's see, we try to post. Where is it? Where's our post? Where's the error? Wait a minute. User ID. Okay, looks like I need a user ID. Okay. Did I forget the user ID? user ID. Where is this? In the service client. Oh, we never pass in the user ID. Oh, I guess we need to pass in the user ID here. Okay, so let's pass in user ID as argument. We'll need that in the controller too. We have it right there. We can pass it as argument. Okay, so let's refresh this. Refresh. Network looks clear. Create. Okay, notice that we did a post. We did the post, right? But the server's responding saying there's nobody listening on the other end to that post. Okay, so let's do that. Let's create an HTTP handler on the server. So let's go back to the server. There it is. I'm going to be, right now we're only listening for a get, right? We're going to be listening for a post at the same URL. Okay? Meaning I am going to be asking you to create a new website on that list of websites. So this is create website. There it is, right? And we're going to implement it down here. Function create website request response. The new website will be available in the body. So it will be request.body, right? That's what's being embedded, the JSON object that is being embedded. Notice that if we look at the headers here, notice that indeed in the body, the payload, right, of the HTTP request has a name and a description object being passed to the server. See that? Right. So that's coming to us, and we can retrieve that from the body. There it is. We'll also need the user ID that we can parse from the params. So request.params user ID. There it is. And then what do we do? We're just gonna push the new object of website object onto the array of websites. Correct? So we're going to say websites dot push the new website. But before we do that, we'll need to add the user ID as a developer. Right? Remember that each website needs to know who its developer is. Correct? So let's add that. This will be website dot developer ID is that user ID that we pass as an argument. Correct? Plus we'll need to encode the ID. Right, so this will be new date dot get time plus string, and then we're gonna just return the brand new website that we just created. We're gonna say response dot JSON and send back the website object we just created. Make sense? Right? You might want to put some error messages here or some error handling if that user ID doesn't exist. Right? You might want to check for that and return a 404 or something. Right? It says no, we can't add that to that developer because that developer doesn't exist. We're only implementing the happy path here. Okay? So let's refresh. Let's restart the server. Let's go back here and let's create for Bob. Let's create Wikipedia. Wiki. Whatever. Create. When it gave some error, give 5 of 5. Oh my goodness. There an error?
So it's just this like user ID.
Oh, okay. Thank you. User ID. There we go. Okay, let's restart that. Awesome. Let's restart. So let's create some bogus website. Let's create. Okay, so now it's returning with a 200. We did the post, and it's coming back with the new website that we just created with the correct ID. See that? Now notice that it didn't really happen. Anything happened on the client side. But if I go back to the list of websites, notice that the website is there. You see that? It is there. It was created, right? If we refresh, it was there. We could create a whole bunch of these, right? So this is website 111 create. There it is. We can create website 222. Okay, so they're being created, right? They're being created. So the only thing left to do is the controller should be able to identify that this was successful, and now it can navigate back to the list of websites, right? So let's go back to the controller. The controller is here, right? The controller said the only thing that it's doing, notice that it's just calling the create website, but it's not doing anything. What's coming back, right? So what is coming back is the promise of something coming from the server. But we don't really need what's coming back from the server because we're not going to really do anything with it, right? So we can ignore what's coming from the server. We just need to know that if we get to this point, we are guaranteed that the website was added to the database or to the server, and then now we can safely navigate back to the list of websites. We shouldn't navigate before, right? Because what could happen is that notice that if we do this, say we did this, right? We create the website and we think we're going to get lucky and just navigate location. We could do something like this. We could say location and go back to the list of websites, right? Because it says, well, I created the website. I can now navigate back to my list of websites, correct? So if I do this, I can say slash, I want to go to URL. User, and then user ID, right? Model.user ID. Then I want to go to website. Okay, you could be forgiven to implementing it this way, right? So if I refresh, right, and I create website 333, I do create. Wait, did I refresh? Create website. It should go URL. Did it complain? Wait a minute. Create console. Location is not defined. Oh, probably we didn't inject this. Let's try it again. Create. Okay, so we navigated back, right? And so so we create and we get let's create a new one. Website 777. Create. Okay, notice that it's showing, right? Well, we're getting lucky, right? So what we have created here is what is called a race condition. We've created a race condition. This is not guaranteed to work, right? And the reason is that this is going out to the server. And I'm not waiting for the server to come back and tell me that the website has been successfully added, right? And before that, I am navigating away and going to the list of websites. So I get to the list of websites. The server has not yet finished, maybe because it has to go back to the database and do a whole bunch of things, right? Right. By that time, I'm already here, right? And to fulfill this list, I need to go back to the server again to ask for all the list of websites, correct? Now I have two calls to the server. One that tells me to create a website, and I have another asynchronous call telling it to retrieve all the websites. Which one wins is not guaranteed. Okay, they're both asynchronous, right? So the only way to guarantee, so it might be that the one that asks for the list of website wins before inserting the website, correct? So I might have here a stale list of websites that does not include the website that I just added, right? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I add a website and I see it. Sometimes I add it and I don't see it. I need to refresh the page to see it, right? And those are the worst bugs to debug. The ones that sometimes work and sometimes don't work, right? Very common is due to these kinds of bugs. This is a race condition. You don't know that one is going to win over the other. So to deal with this is that you need to guarantee the synchronicity, right? That no, I'm not going to fetch the list. I'm not going to navigate away from this. I'm not going to fetch the list of websites until I am guaranteed that the last one was successful. Make sense? So this is the proper way of implementing it. That makes sense? So no race conditions in your code, right? Okay. So now I'm guaranteed that once it has been added, now I can navigate and list the list of pages. Everybody okay? All right. All right, so how about editing? So we worked on editing for the user. So I'm going to leave that up to you. I want to implement removal of objects, because we haven't done that for users yet, right? So let's do it for websites, okay? So to do that, we're going to need to navigate to an edit page, which I don't believe we have. Do we? Let me see. We don't have an edit page, but no fear. We'll just copy website new. I'm going to paste it here and I'll call it website edit. Okay? And and there will be a controller that looks very similar to the new controller, and I'll call it website edit controller. Yes? And I'll just load that controller from here, from the index page. Don't forget to load those controllers. So it's I'll copy this, and this will be edit. There it is. Very good. And I will create the I will configure in the config here alongside with the new website. So I'll copy this. I'll create a route for the edit. So this will be edit. So website. So for the editing, right? We're gonna need the website that we're editing, right? So I'm gonna add that as a parameter in the path of the navigation. So this is going to go to website edit, and it's going to have the website edit controller. Okay, I think that's it. Well, let me see our edit controller. Our edit controller, okay, has the wrong name first of all, so let's fix that. So this is edit. Okay, it's not going to have a create website certainly, so let's remove that. But it is going to have the website service find website by ID. Right, so that we have. All right, so let's see. Let's try. Okay, we need also a hyperlink to navigate there. Right, so let's create a hyperlink to navigate there. So let's go to website list. Website list. Where are you? Website list. There you go. In the website list, we have in our cog. Where's our cog? Let's see. There's our cog. Right now it's not a hyperlink. Let's convert that into a hyperlink. There's our hyperlink. And where do we want to go here? We want to go to let's see, what's the URL look like? It was configured to be right here. This is the URL we want to go there, right? So it's going to be /user ID. Do we have the user ID? Hopefully in model.userid maybe. And then website ID. Do we have the website ID? Yes, right here. We're iterating over them, right? So it's right here. So it's website.id. Okay, let's see. Let's refresh this. Okay, they're hyperlinks. Right, they're hyperlinks now. If I hover over them, let's verify that the URLs are correct. Let's hover over that. The URL looks correct, right? User 234 website and the website ID. That looks okay. If I click on it, it doesn't work. Wait, what? Hashbank, thank you. Hashbank. Let's go back. Click on it. There we go. So presumably it went to the correct place. It has the list of websites on the left-hand side. The name is wrong, so let's change that HTML. So that should go to the edit. So this would be to the edit page. Edit, where are you? Edit controller, where's the HTML? Website edit. So this should read edit website, edit website. Okay. All right. So this over here should display the information for the website that I want to edit. Correct. So I need to go fetch the website for that ID that I have on the URL. Correct. So I need to retrieve this URL pattern, right? This URL. So let's do that. In the controller for the edit, we'll need to retrieve the website ID, model.website ID. We're going to retrieve it from the route params. In the parameter is called website ID. There it is. Okay, so I have now the ID. I need to fetch that one website, okay, from the server. So we're going to do website service dot find website by ID. Okay, I have the ID right here. I'm going to pass it along. Presumably, I can then receive the website and then pass it to the template for rendering. Right? So I should be able to say model.website equal website for rendering. Okay. The template. Let's see. Is the template ready for rendering? Let's see. What do we call our? Is that the template? Yes. Okay. This would be model.website. Okay, model.website, model.website. Okay, what else? There's no create website, so let me remove that. Probably we'll change it to like delete or something. So this will be something like delete, and we'll do that later. We'll do that later, and we'll call it maybe not primary. We'll call it danger. Careful, you're going to remove a website here. So let's refresh here. There's delete. Oops, something broke. Let's see the console. Okay, it's trying to go find the website by ID. We never implemented that on the service, so let's implement that. So on the controller, we were trying to implement this website find website by ID, which we don't have. Let's go to the service. The service, there it is. This dot service find by ID. Implement it in a function of the same name. We need the ID. Where's the ID? The ID presumably we're being passed in as an argument. The URL is, what should your URL be? The URL should be, that's the entity that we want to, we're working on. And we need to append that parameter that we're passing, right? So this is the instance of the website that we're trying to manipulate or retrieve. We're going to go fetch that. It's a read operation. So we do a return http.get and pass the URL, right? If we do that, notice that I don't have user ID. It's not being passed to me. We don't have the user ID. I don't have the user ID. I guess we need to pass the user ID as well. So let's do that. Let's edit the controller so that it passes the user ID as well. There it is. Okay. Let's try that again. Console. Okay, it went out. Let's see. In the network, it went out to go fetch the website. See that? It went out to fetch the website with that ID, but there's nobody listening on the server side. So let's fix that. Let's go to the server side. Right, and now let's be able to answer the query for I want a website whose website ID is this ID. So this will be find website by ID, okay, which is going to be implemented very similar to this find website by user. So let's just implement it real quick. This is request response. I don't really need the user here. I don't really need the user. I could just use the ID of the website, really, right? I could ignore the user ID. So I'm going to iterate over all the over the websites, and if the website dot underscore ID is equal to the request dot params dot website ID, if it's equal to that, I'm just going to respond with a JSON object of that website instance. I'm just going to send that back. If I didn't find it, I'm going to respond by sending a status of 404. I couldn't find that website. Okay? Right? So if I restart the server and I go back here and I refresh, have an error. Website ID. Did I restart the server? I hope I restarted the server. Website ID, API. Oh, I think I'm using the wrong API name. Where is it? No, that's right. API user, website ID. Let's go to the network. In the network, we are trying to hit it. Not found. Oh, because that website wasn't there originally. Right? We had created it before we had restarted the server. So let's go back. So chess is the only one right now, right? We had created a whole bunch of dummy websites. So let's do that. Let's click that. Let's go in the network. Let's refresh. Let's see. Okay, and there it is. So it went out. Okay, there it is. The description name. For some reason that didn't. Why didn't this populate? Let's see. The controller. Let's step through this. Source. Let's look at the website, controller, register, user service. Where's our controller here? Views, website edit. So it would be right here now. Let's refresh. So website. Oh, it's in the data. It's in the data. We need to unwrap it. Right. So in the controller, this is really the response. Right. And so this is response.data. Right. So let's see. Let's refresh. Continue. There it is. Chess and Lorem. Right. We were able to retrieve that one website. That makes sense? Right? All right. I think I'm going to leave it here.